Hello, friends, and welcome back to Malicious Compliance Stories. Sometimes you just have to cause a scene to get the much-needed help. People like the cart thief need to be taken down a few notches here and there. If they never, ever get away with this crap, maybe they'll eventually stop trying to steamroll people. So friends, don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you're new here and turn on notifications so you don't miss a new video every single day. Here we go. Make my coworker cry. I will help karma turn your life upside down. Backstory. I worked at this hotel for over 2 years and was one of 2 people left that went through training when our hotel changed hotel franchises. During this training, we were told about certain rules the company had. Cast. Manager, front desk manager, he was only here for 4 to 6 months at this point. Me. I'm a nice guy, unless you're a bully or entitled person. A few others I'll mention as we go through. Story. One afternoon I was scheduled to work second shift 3 to 11. I walked in and both AM front desk coworkers looked like they had been massively crying as their makeup was smeared. My manager looking quite PO'd, I asked, "What's wrong?" Manager, "We have a major jerk as a guest. This guy's the highest level on the rewards for the hotel chain. He's very demanding and wants free upgrades, free this or that, and screams anytime he has an interaction with the staff. This guy's made every department call me complaining about him. Now this guy just came to the desk and screamed at these 2 coworkers until they both were crying. These 2 ladies were fresh high school graduates and were very sweet and innocent people. They loved helping people and didn't deserve this treatment." As he's explaining this, I look up this guy's room details. Once my manager finishes explaining everything this guy had done, I see this guy's info and I had to smile from ear to ear. I reply, "Didn't you see he's an employee of a different hotel?" Manager, "Yes, but so what?" I replied, "First off, while you travel as an employee, you are required to behave and be respectful. It's in the fine print on the discount form." I grabbed his form and showed it to the manager. Failure to be respectful can lead to having your employee discount suspended or permanently revoked, and even get you terminated. You need to call this guy's hotel and ask for the GM, then explain to him who you are and what this guy is doing. I look up the hotel phone number and call the hotel and then handed my manager the phone. Manager, after his call ends with the GM, he has an evil and satisfying smile on his face. His GM is steaming mad after I described all the stuff this guy has done. Main switchboard phone rings. I answered, "Hello, thank you for calling hotel name. How may I direct your call?" Caller, "I want to speak to Entitled Jerks room, please." I replied, "Absolutely, sir. Have a nice day." Transfer the call and looked at my manager and saying with a sarcastic tone, "Someone wanted to talk to Entitled Jerk. Gee, I wonder who that could be." Manager continues after he stopped laughing. The GM gave me his personal cell number and said if I have any more issues at all to call him immediately. I'm leaving the phone number next to the switchboard if you need to call him. I told manager, "Your revenge is done. Now for my revenge." Manager wide-eyed, "Oh crap, what are you going to do?" Me smiling a very evil smile, "You'll see." I pick up the phone to make a call. "Hello, Hotel Rewards customer service? Yes, I'd like to report someone using reward account while using employee discount on his stay." Customer service, "He can't do that." I replied, "I know, I'm calling to report him." I gave her the guest reservation number and rewards member number. I continued, "I bet anything if you dig through this guy's history, you'll find all his stays are probably at employee discount." Customer service, "I'm starting a ticket to have this guy's account investigated." I replied, "Thank you," then hang up the phone. The manager watched as I then remove his rewards number from his stay. My manager had a huge grin on his face. That was awesome. I explained, "Oh, I'm not quite finished with him yet. It's time to go spread the news to all departments he's no longer a rewards member." I made a new key for his room without the concierge access. I walked around to every department. As I explained why I was stopping by, everyone had the same reaction as soon as I mentioned the guy's name. "Oh God, now what about this a-hole?" I finished explaining how he was no longer a reward member, and if he gives any issues to call the front desk immediately, and his GM already probably tore him a new one just a minute ago. Everyone was so happy at this news. I finally went to the concierge room, used the guest's new key to void his current key, then I walked into the room and explained the information to the evening concierge. She cringed at the mention of his name. After explaining she would not have to deal with him again, I asked her to leave the morning person a note about this guy not allowing in the concierge room anymore. She was very happy. While I was gone, evidently the manager explained what we did to the 2 a.m. front desk ladies. The minute I got back to the desk, both my front desk coworkers all came up to me and gave me a huge hug and thanked me so many times. Manager to me, after the other coworkers went home, "Do me a huge favor, please," I replied. "Sure, what's up?" Manager: "If I ever piss you off, please come tell me so I can fix the issue." Later that night, entitled jerk comes to the desk, hat in hand, politely saying his key doesn't work. I replied, "Oh, so sorry about that. Let me make you a new key," in the best fake smile I can muster. Aftermath. Next day, I check his rewards account, and it's now suspended. Check back next week. Sorry, account number not found. The guess when he picked up that phone call? "I never ordered a wake-up call." His GM: "This is a different kind of wake-up call." And our next story. Entitled woman tried to steal my cart. A little bit of backstory is I have myotonic muscular dystrophy. I've had this all my life, but symptoms do not really start to appear until your early 20s. I'm now 35 and my symptoms are quite noticeable to me, although looking at me, you can't see anything is wrong. Usually, my most common problem is my legs and ankles. There are good days and bad days, and sometimes really bad days. Most of the time, I can endure the pain. Been dealing with it for so long, I try not to let it interfere with my daily life, but sometimes it's just not worth it, so I try to minimize it when possible. Usually, when I'm not having a good day, I stay home and just try to let my aching muscles recuperate and not agitate them more so. Sometimes it takes nothing to make them ache, sometimes it's just me being on my feet all day. It's random, and sometimes without reason. Anyway, today was a bad day. My ankles are still killing me even as I write this right now. Regardless of this fact though, I really need to go to the store. We finally ran out of food and I figured that since I was driving and could grab a motorized cart at the store, I wouldn't agitate my legs and ankles too much. So I strapped on my ankle braces and decided to brave the store. I had just recently been given a handicap placard by my neurologist, so I was happy to be able to save myself as much walking as I could. I was greatly relieved to see one last motorized cart, so I snagged it and began shopping. I wasn't going to make this big a trip. Usually my husband comes with me shopping, especially on bad days, but he was on an on-call meeting at the time, and those can take hours sometimes. I was surprised there was toilet paper and paper towels, so I grabbed one package of each and continued on my way. I went to the soda aisle and stood up to grab a 2-liter of Dr. Pepper, and a small little old lady behind me politely asked if I could grab her some Coke on the top shelf. She was maybe 5 feet at most, and I'm about 5'7", so I moved to the side to grab the soda for her. When I took a step from my cart and grabbed the drinks, all of a sudden some rather overweight woman sits in my cart and starts to drive away. I quickly put the drinks in the older lady's cart and run after my cart. It still had my purse and everything inside. I cringed from having to run. Even if it was a short distance, it still hurt. I placed myself in front of her. If she wanted to move, she would have to run me over. "Hey," I said loudly, "what do you think you're doing? This is my cart. You can't just take it away from me like that. It still has all my shopping inside," I said, looking at her in disbelief at what she'd just done. She sneered at me. "You don't need this cart. I saw you standing up just a moment ago, so you can obviously walk. I saw you earlier using a handicap spot too. You're just faking it," she said. I was confused. Was this lady following me since the parking lot? "I'm not faking anything. Get out of my cart right now," I said firmly. "But I need it more than you. It hurts to walk and I could use everything in this cart, so it'll save me time. Come on, you should be nicer to your elder," she said. "Now get out of my way." Like the conversation was over or something. Aside from the fact that sure, I might look young, but I was 35 and she was probably close to my age, if not a bit older. "I'm not moving. You will get out of my cart. I'm not your personal shopper, and I don't care if you're hurting. Has it ever crossed your mind that I'm in pain too, and you're making it worse by stealing my cart and making me stand here?" I'll admit I was screaming at this point. I was near tears because I was so angry and hurting. Thankfully, a manager walked up and asked what was going on. But for once, I spoke before this horrid woman could say anything. I stood up, and when I was distracted, she stole my cart. It had my purse and all my shopping inside, and she won't give it back, and I really need it. "Please," I said, wanting desperately to sit down at this point. She's lying. This is all my stuff. She started yelling now too. Okay, let's all calm down. He picked up my purse and asked if the purse was hers. Of course she said, yes, of course, this is all mine. Okay then, ma'am, will you please verify your name then? He said, pulling out my wallet to look at my ID. The look on her face was priceless. Why don't you ask her instead? Why are you asking me such a stupid question? She was stammering. Very well, ma'am, he asked me. My name is J blank blank blank, I said. Why she thought asking me was going to do anything but prove this was my cart and stuff, I have no idea. Ma'am, I'm going to have to ask you to return this cart to this lady. It's obviously hers, and you had no right to take it, he said firmly. I need it more, she began to whine and scream. Get out of the cart or I will call security and have you removed. Now, do I need to call them? I was glad he was remaining so calm. She begrudgingly got up, kicking the cart as she did, and waddled away. I happily sat back down and thanked the manager for handling the situation so well and apologized if my yelling caused a scene. No worries. Do you need any help with the rest of your shopping today? I said I was okay and almost finished, but thanked him once more after getting his name. I called Walmart earlier about how he was so helpful. I got the last of my stuff without incident, and the employees were kind enough to take me to my car, load my groceries, and take the cart back for me too. Thanks for being a great Walmart. And thanks to my fellow Redditors for letting me vent. I needed that. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.